Welcome back to Hockey Talks. I'm Carl. That's Dave here. One quick note before we get going here. It's something to do. We said last week, we mentioned that the NHL season starts on the 4th. It actually starts on Tuesday, October the 8th. Is the first NHL game of the season. So now that we got that out of the way, speaking of NHL starting next week, Utah had their first preseason game. Their first NHL goal. Can you guess what happened? Went directly back into their own net. So the first goal they ever scored. History. The first goal they ever scored was against themselves. You can take the Arizona Coyotes out of Arizona, but you can never take that team from Arizona. It will always be the Arizona Coyotes. And that, to me, that just proved it was still the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
See how the season goes from there on forward. But speaking of it's still not great news. Drew Doughty ended up going down in a preseason game. See, this is why I don't like people going all out. I get you need some warm up and stuff like this, but once you get injured in a preseason game, it's not good before anything starts. He ended up crashing into the boards. From the video I've seen, it does not look good. His ankle pretty much went straight in and almost looked like it completely dislocated backwards.
Yeah.
And so, he was helped off the ice, and there's no timetable clearly when he's going to be back. I think he's going to be out for a good chunk of time, so that's not a great way for the LA Kings to start their season with one of their main defensive guys out.
And during a preseason game,
game.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you think of the preseason? Like them playing all their stars and going out. I get they need to get warmed up, right? But do they need, what is it now, four preseason games they do? It's not a lot, but still.
Well, they need a preseason to get warmed up and get going. And it's ridiculous how people get injured off of it, you know?
Yeah. We'll going too hard. But I think, preseason obviously is to test out the young guys, right? Because they got to make some cuts and all that stuff before the season happens. So they're trying to figure out, or they're not cuts, but they're trying to figure out their lines and stuff like that and who they want to put where, right? So I get that, but I mean, you have your big stars that have been in the NHL for a long time. Do you really need to play them, I guess, every game? I guess they don't, but maybe it's just unfortunate that something like that happened. But
realistically too, it is just kind of like a warm up as well. You know, you said, you want to see how the chemistry is, and sometimes you need to see how those top guys play with other people.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate you see stuff like that before the season. I guess it happens. It's hockey. It's a fast-paced game, but maybe grinding into the boards. Like, you would go into the boards hard to try to fight for that puck. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they should lay off a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there are some players too who actually go and do dirty things during the preseason, and I don't know why. It's like they don't care about getting game misconducts at that point in time or something.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I guess the one hit Brady Tkachuk laid on William Nylander
after the whistle.
After the whistle,
what's the point of doing that?
Completely a cross check to the back, right?
Yeah.
It's preseason, guys. Calm it down a little bit. The NHL season hasn't started yet.
What do you think he's thinking when he does something like that? Or is it just because he's not thinking? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he trying to look? Is he trying to look tough? Is he trying to look like a player who's ready to throw grit? You know?
Well, he's probably trying to set a tone, right?
Yeah,
I guess
during a preseason game. There's a reason you guys don't make the playoffs. You know, because you guys play during the preseason instead of the season.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I mean, even that stuff that'll be a penalty all day in the regular season, right?
Yeah.
They completely long after the whistle, and just a straight cross check to the back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He was okay from that, but William Nylander, he did suffer an injury from a different play.
Yeah.
He in the game today against the Montreal Canadiens, not Nick Suzuki. One of the teammates were trying to give him a push.
Robertson
was trying to give him a push with the stick, right, to give him a little bit of a boost, but instead it pushed him over, and he fell to the ice, and he cracked his head on a guy's leg and snapped his head back. And he immediately left the game. No word on his injury yet. He hasn't returned to the game at all. it doesn't look good. He went to the dressing room immediately, didn't talk to nobody, just walked straight back there. So when you see that, it doesn't look good. And once again, preseason injuries
could amount
to
a guy who's making quite a bit of money.
Yeah, Nylander's a big key contributing factor for the Leafs, right? That want to prove a point this year.
Yeah,
and he's a big factor. So hopefully he'll be okay. Head injuries are never a good thing, right? But we'll see what happens going forward here.
Well, that one you can't blame Kachuk on either.
That one you can't.
What do you think of that though? It was a player during a preseason game making that kind of extra effort of trying to push his player along.
Once again,
leads to an injury. Yeah. Why? Why are you doing that stuff? Why? It's like, would you block a shot during a preseason game? You know, like just chill back a little bit.
Saying no. I know you want to play like you're playing an actual game. Get your mindset in it, but that caused an injury, and I know you don't think of it. People do. They do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's another unfortunate one. So we'll see what the media has to say about all that and how the Leafs are going to just tank this year. Now that Nylander's gone.
That's what the media says.
The media is overreacting for everything.
Oh.
You hear the other night, Craig Berube was taking questions after their 0-2 start to the preseason, saying, is it time to panic, Leafs fans? Is it time to panic now that they're 0-2 in the preseason?
Yeah.
Come on.
Time to panic.
I love his answer. He's just, it's preseason.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's meaningless.
That's it. It's preseason. Come on, yeah. Toronto media is getting fired up for the season. Here we go.
Yeah. It seems like it. Those clickbaity articles say.
Austin Matthews also got injured.
Oh, did he?
Last game. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a minor upper body injury. So
upper body jeans, boots with the fur.
There we go.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I didn't know he got injured.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's I don't think it's anything crazy, but he's been out.
What is the NHL turning into? You know, like you'd think you would like take a step back and be better. You know, more safe and.
Yeah, everybody's getting injured, but
it seems like
just more stuff for the media to react.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Toronto media, especially, because they're a bunch of savages.
Well, and Toronto fans though too, like
Toronto fans also.
I mean, I'm a Toronto fan, and I always say when you read these toxic headlines, they're such extremists. They're either really, really for them or really, really against them. Yeah, but if you sit back and you just know, it's like we know they're going to make the playoffs. You know, so like whatever happens until then, just try not to get injured and get ready to play in the playoffs.
Oh, well, look at the preseason start, 0-2.
Yeah,
rough start.
Oh, I'm sweating. Oh man.
Yep. Time to find the coach.
If anything, right. I would want to lose all the preseason games just because then you'll end up winning more season games.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the way it usually seems to work. Vancouver never wins a preseason game.
Yeah. Well, they never win any games for the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And they do great.
Yikes. Okay. Moving on.
It's a compliment.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how those Canucks do this year.
Yeah.
They made some moves to get into position, hopefully. But season starts October the 8th. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I thought it was the 4th for some reason.
Yeah. Well, nope, it's October the 8th, Tuesday.
Yeah, well, nope.
It is October the 8th.
You are wrong. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you want to fire a question.
I do want to fire a question. So Edmonton Oilers did this really cool thing where they had like this back to school thing where, you know, kids go back to school, they take a thing and they take pictures of it, just saying like what where they're at and how old they are and how many years they've been going to school and all that stuff. So I'm going to read you some of the players on this one. And you're going to guess the age, and then I'll tell you guys a little bit about them, like their favorite player growing up. And it's mainly the Oilers, or all the Oilers for that matter. So yeah, guess the age of Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid, he would be, when did he come into the league? 15, so he's got to be like 27?
27. Yeah, his favorite player growing up was Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and his go-to snack is candy. Cool. Mm-hmm. And his hockey stick is CCM. So then next up is Draisaitl. How old is he?
Draisaitl. He's got to be probably 25.
28.
28. He's
Yeah.
older. Okay, yeah, right. He did come into the league first.
And his favorite player was Datsuk.
Pavel
How do you
Datsuk.
say it? Yeah. And his go-to snack is my favorite, Kit Kats.
Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Kit Kat.
You can't eat them with more than 4 people around though.
Yeah.
Otherwise you won't get a piece. His favorite hockey stick is Warrior.
Well, that's what Kit Kat, they have that slogan, take a break, right?
Yeah.
That's what they did at the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
They took a break with Kit
Kat. Zach Hyman, age.
Zach Hyman.
Mhm.
He's 31.
32.
Oh,
Yeah.
32, almost.
And Gary Roberts was his favorite player growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. And his go-to snack is banana bread. I wonder if he likes some chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite.
Send him an email.
Send him an email. Hey man, you want some banana bread? I can make you stuff. Okay, Skinner.
Stuart Skinner.
He's going to surprise you on that.
Probably 34.
25.
25? Man, that mustache ages him.
I know,
Ages him
eh?
like 10 years.
Oh, and he says his favorite player growing up was Nuge. And,
Yeah.
And his go-to snack is Wonder Bar.
Wonder Bar.
Wonder Bar! Yeah. All right, then we got Bouchard.
He's got to be in his 30s.
24.
24, wow,
Yeah.
man.
And his was Crosby, and then his favorite snacks, PB sandwich. Peanut butter. No jelly, just PB.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and then we got, who's this? Nugent Hopkins himself. The man, the legend.
Okay, this guy, I know he is in his 30s.
31.
31, okay, yeah.
And Joe Sakic. Oh, remember how much he was from Swift Current, I believe.
Joe Sack?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that from my boss.
Swift Current,
Yeah, I think so. That's the team he played for.
Okay, yeah. I knew he was Canadian. I didn't know where he was from.
His favorite go-to snack is chips, like some salty. And then Darnell Nurse.
Darnell Nurse. Okay, he's 28.
29.
29.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Ginla was his favorite.
Jerome again?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he likes popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah.
Yeah.
Good healthy snack.
Well, until you put the butter.
Until you
Yeah.
put the
Who
butter.
eats popcorn with butter?
It is good. It is quite good.
Henrique.
Adam Henrique. 32.
34.
34.
His favorite player was Iserman, and his go-to snack is coffee.
Oh, wow. I could have that as a snack.
A
I have a snack quite often.
All right, final one, Ekholm.
He's Ekholm. He is... Okay, I know he looks older than he actually is. He's 25.
34.
He is old.
Mullen? Ovi Mullen? You know who that is?
Ovi Mullen?
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't ring a bell. Molin. And his go-to snack is a granola bar. Bologna?
His snack bar.
Ovimoline? I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all of them. So, that was kind of cool. Yeah, they did a little, like, go back to school type thing.
Cool thing.
They took a bunch of pictures of themselves.
Back to hockey.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
Back to school. Yeah.
Crazy how Stuart Skinner looks. Looks way older than 24.
It's the mustache.
It's the
reason
mustache.
he grows
The big,
in.
burly mustache he
Yeah.
grow. Unbelievable.
Now that's a cookie scraper. What do they
Yeah.
call them? Cookie cleaner? What do you
A
call it?
cookie
Cookie duster. That's what it is.
Cookie
Cookie duster.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll ever get rid of the mustache? I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe for like charity or something. Someone could talk him into it.
He looks good with a mustache. Only if he looked as good in net. Well, moving on from that point.
You think it helps him save the puck more often?
Maybe.
It's like an
You
extra
just give
set of.
him-
It's an extra set of limbs. You know? Just stretch his mustache out. Ooh.
Let the mustache hang down. Yeah. Yeah, moving on. I want to get to... There's talk about Austin Matthews. He scored 69 goals last year. You think he's going to break 70 this year?
I don't know. Now that you're telling me he might be injured.
Well, he was last year at the beginning too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Last year he did start the season injured. And then everybody thought, oh, Matthews is done. Like the overreaction of the media again. And Leafs fans And what did he do? He came back and scored 69 goals.
Yeah, I don't think he's past his prime yet.
No,
you know what I mean.
So either.
And if I'm looking at the teams, there's still the same amount of teams. Seattle Utah just simply moved from Arizona, so there wasn't really an expansion.
No, it wasn't at all. The same amount of teams.
But there's still, as much dilution as there was the previous year. And if anything, I think that with the new coach, they are going to play a little bit differently, which is going to probably favor him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and what I mean by that is if they start to play more in playoff mode, they'll start to play more with stopping the dangling and looking good while you score goals and getting more guys in front of the net and shooting some pucks in. I think he'll be able to slap some more in there,
mm-hmm.
But it'll also open the door for a lot more other players to like a new Hyman kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to what this new coach will do on the team. But to answer your question, I do think that he's not past his prime, so I can see him getting more than 69, especially when he's playing those lower tier teams, right?
Yeah. I think he'll be coming close. Like he's going to score a lot of goals again this year, no matter what. I'm pretty sure about that, right? Craig Berube's he's going to have a different style of playing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's probably going to try to get Matthews more involved in almost everything.
Yeah.
Although he's not like he's not involved in enough already, but I think he'll get there.
Yeah,
I can see it. Like you said, he's not past his prime yet. He's just approaching it, I think.
Yeah, next couple of years, that's when he'll, in my opinion, have his best seasons.
Yeah.
As long as he stays reasonably healthy. Yeah. And yeah, it's mainly the reason why I think this is it's the coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said where they're going to include him in more and more things. If you look at the previous playoffs and everything, in my opinion, Nylander and himself are the ones that were actually really, really trying during these games. Some of the other players, you could see them just maybe not making the reach they should have made and whatnot. We won't get into naming names. But I do think that getting a new coach might light up a rocket here and we'll see. I think that any new changes that they make, Matthews will be excited for.
Yeah.
Right? Because he knows that they're building, they're not building a team for the season anymore. They're building a team for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's going to ignite them.
Yeah, that's what they're really focused on. They know they can make it to the playoffs this year, and they have the last few years, right? They know they can get there. What can they do in the playoffs? That's, I think, what they're really going to try to drive home this year.
And they're going to spend the next 82 games doing it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Austin Matthews also being the captain this year. We'll see how that changes things. Right?
That's also going to light the fire.
I don't know if it'll change a lot of things. It could, but it's just they're giving it from Tavares to Matthews, which is going to be a change, but
he's a human being, right?
In the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he is a human being. Sometimes we think of these athletes as objects, but he's a human being, and he has the C now, and it's going to be different.
Oh, it's going to be different for him, especially, right? Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see him wear the captaincy throughout the Toronto Maple Leafs and see what kind of team they're going to have this year.
Yeah.
There is one other new captain that came in the NHL. The Sabres named Rasmus Dahlin their captain after Kyle Okposo was a captain last year, and he actually retired now. So the Sabres have named Rasmus Dahlin the captain. He's an outstanding defenseman. He's played, I don't even know how many years with them already, but he's one of the better defensemen in the league for sure. So we'll see what kind he does. He's still a young guy. See what kind he does. I'm not
what
sure
kind he
that
does.
is, but
that's okay. We're 18 minutes in. If you're still here, leave us a comment.
We appreciate you watching this deep into this.
Yeah.
As we but slowly taper off here. But we'll see what this young guy can do as a captain, leading the Sabres to hopefully back into the playoffs. I don't think they've been into the playoffs since 2013, I want to say. It's been quite a few years. So we'll see what happens there. But once again, we do have to go here. We spent almost 20 minutes down here, and thank you for watching if you still are. Like you said, leave us a comment or a like, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again. Have a good night.
Toodaloo.